everybody. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to start a brand new series called BP Asks, where I take questions from Bigger Pockets and answer them here on this live video. Now, I'm doing this because of a couple reasons, but number one is there's a lot of questions that are asked pretty frequently on the forums that either myself or other folks just jump in and answer. So I'm just going to make a video about them and see how it goes. Now, I have no idea how many videos I'll make or how many questions I'll answer. But I think this is a good series, and we'll see where it takes us. So today's first questions comes from Jordan Santiago from Howard Beach, New York. He posted up on the forum saying, "Can anybody recommend a great commercial multifamily slash apartment broker that can help me in Houston or Dallas, Texas, preferably Houston? I would really appreciate it. Thank you." So, Jordan, I know I answered your question on the forums, but I'm going to jump in here and answer it again. Number one, this is the easiest way and probably one of the most popular ways to find brokers is to go on like LoopNet, Crexi, CityFeet, and anywhere where multifamily, in your case, multifamily listings are put on the internet and see who the broker is and figure out their contact information and get in touch with them. Now you got to make sure that you're getting like um, the type of asset that you want and the type of size that you want, because there's going to be lots of apartments on there. But if you're only looking for 100 units and up, you don't want to be talking to the guy that has a 12 unit listing. You want to be talking to the guys that have the big stuff or the gals. And that's the best way I've found to find out people that are at least active in the area. Now, they might not be the best brokers, but I've had mixed results using that method. Number two, go to CCIM's website. Now, CCIM is a special designation that usually real estate professionals can get, commercial real estate professionals can get, usually brokers, and it's not easy. It's really tough to get a CCIM and to become a CCIM. So, you know, the people that are on that website are at least dedicated enough to further their educational career. So you can actually go to CCIM's website and search for folks in your area or the area that you're looking who specialize in office, multifamily, industrial, things like that. Anyway, you get their contact information. It's a pretty good bet that they are going to be at least a little more established than some of the young brokers, or maybe just the random realtor who has a commercial listing. It's a good way to find professionals. Number three, and the easiest way is just to hit up the large national firms, Marcus and Millichap, CBRE, SVN, ARA, Cushman and Wakefield. Um, I, I think that's mostly it. Sprague Van Ness, yeah, and just the large group, and figure out who is the closest office, and just reach out to the brokers. Now, this isn't a guarantee of finding a deal. I found that usually one, maybe two of the big brokerages have a foothold in the area, so you'll want to kind of test that out and see. And you need to interview the broker and say, "Hey, how many deals have you closed?" They just like they're interviewing you, you need to interview them. So you'll be able to find who's doing deals pretty easily that way. Number four, and my personal favorite way to find the most active broker in the area is to get your hands on a copy of CoStar's Power Broker list. It's a ranking, and they put out Power Broker listings of everyone, and it's an award that brokers get. And one of the Power Brokers awards is how many transactions you've done or how many things you've accomplished in that time. So the only downside is CoStar, um, they only publish it for a very short period of time, and they are not really willing to give it up. So you need to figure out a way to get your hands on it. And I'm not going to give all the secrets away, but that's a really good way of figuring out number one, number two, and number three in the market really quickly, because you know that they're the ones doing deals and getting transactions very quickly. Now, this is one that I haven't learned from anyone. I kind of figured this one out on my own. So I'm not sure how accurate it is in every single market. But the markets that I'm working in, it's been dead on every single time. And it makes sense. The most transactions you're doing, usually the best brokers you are, the better broker you are. So it makes sense, but your mileage may vary. And Jordan, that's it. There's no other way other than to put in the work and do it. So figure out those people, set up a bunch of appointments and calls and talk to these people. You're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs and figure out a way to weed through that a little bit, but you're going to be fine. You're going to have good luck doing these steps. All right, moving on to question number 2. Sarah Smith, property investor from Las Vegas, asks, I am an experienced investor with over 70 properties. I have great cash flow, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for advice on how to leap into larger properties when I don't have a ton of cash on hand. I'm also interested in learning more about syndication as I'm looking to get away from the fully hands on investing I've been doing for 15 years. Any help or advice would be appreciated. So, Sarah, and I know I also answered this question in the forums as well, but I'll give my 2 cents right now anyway. There's a lot to pull out of this question, and it might not seem that way, but there is. So she's an experienced investor. That's great. She has great cash flow with her properties, and she's looking to scale. So to me, that screams, okay, this person's ready to take it to the next level. They're ready to put in a lot of work and be an active investor. She said she's looking for advice on taking the leap into larger properties when she doesn't have a ton of cash on hand. I'm also interested in learning about syndication as I'm looking to get away from the fully hands on investing. That's the part that is sort of contradictory to her first part. So um, she, on the one hand, wants to scale her business, but on the other hand, wants to get away from fully hands on investing. Now, a lot of people don't really understand that. They get into syndication and they think, oh, it's passive income, it's easy. I am here to tell you that it is 100% not passive if you are going to be a syndicator or an active investor in a syndication. Um, this this is a full-time job for me. This is a lot of work. If you're doing it correctly and you're doing it well, it's going to take up a ton of your time. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a full-time job and be a syndicator. I know several investors that are wonderful at it and do it really well. But at the same time, if you don't know anything about this and you want to scale up, you might think about possibly educating yourself first, but also working with someone who's already doing this. Now, I will say that she doesn't have a lot of cash on hand, she says, but put that aside. The best way to get involved is to put funds into an active syndication and partner with someone who's already doing what you want to do. If you want to scale up to multifamily and you eventually want to syndicate your own deals, the easiest way is to put money in on the limited partner side and learn as much as you can. That's what I did. And I put in money on my first deal and tried to learn as much as I could about the process. And you don't learn a ton, but you do learn it. And for Sarah, this is particularly good advice because she's going to get the taste of what it's like to passively invest in something too, where she doesn't have to do something because she wants to get full away from the fully hands-on investing she's been doing for 15 years. So this is great advice. This is a no-brainer to me, Sarah. You need to figure out a way to get some cash up, 50, 75, 100 grand and invest passively into a syndication with a qualified sponsor and learn as much as you can to see if active syndication is something that's right for you or if you're more of just the full-time passive investor side. And that's all I got for you today. I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm not sure how long we'll do it, but I really enjoyed it too. So we'll keep going for a little while and see where it takes us. If you have questions you want answered, I'm always happy to create a little video or just answer it one-on-one too if you don't want that. Other than that, feel free to reach out. My contact information can be found at www.bannockcapital.com. And we'll have links to everything we talked about today in the description. Thanks.